Hey Braylon, just wanted to go over a few things from this test. Hey Braylon, I printed out your test for you so we could kind of take a look at some of the questions you got wrong because it was seemingly the same type of questions each time. This centroid question I saw a few times you answered just a little incorrectly, so I just want to make sure that we're kind of on the same page with this one. Let me focus this up here. Alright, so if you look here, BE is 21, which is this line segment here running through your triangle. When you have a centroid, what ends up happening is you get 1/3 of the median here and 2/3 here. So when you take 21, if you look at these numbers, 1/3 of 21, so if you divide it by 3, is 7. And 2/3 of 21 is 14. So you want to look for that answer choice that separates that line segment into 1/3 and 2/3. Now for this next one, you got a few of these wrong as well, dealing with perpendicular bisectors. So we have AC and BD are perpendicular bisectors of each other, which means AE is congruent to EC and DE is congruent to EB. So this 5 here that's labeled EC, we could move that up here to AE, and that looks about all we can label in here. Coming back to the word perpendicular, perpendicular means that these would be right angles inside these triangles. So what you need to do is you need to calculate the other sides here. There's a couple ways you can do this. The easiest is the Pythagorean theorem. So if you look at this small right triangle inside here, we would have 5 squared plus x squared. This second leg here would be your x squared equals your hypotenuse squared, or c squared, 13 squared. So 25 plus x squared equals 169. Subtract your 25, you get 144, and that gives you x as 12. Just kind of a verification here. That would be 12. And if we complete the Pythagorean theorem again, you would see that this side would be 13. What you have to be careful when they ask you for the perimeter of a triangle, triangle ABC, is to make sure you're highlighting what you're actually looking at. They're saying start at A, move to B, and come back to C. So to complete that triangle, we'd have to connect A to C, and you have to be extremely careful adding these up here. We have our two 13 sides plus this ending side here, which would be 5 plus 5, or 26, plus that additional side, which would give you a total of 36. It looks like you forgot that middle segment here. You forgot that extra 10. Alright, let's look at the next one. You got all of the worded ones correct, so all of those were good. As far as these, looking at midpoints, you also got, I think, all but one of these correct, and there was about 6 of them. So if you have an additional question on that one, let me know. This one was one of the only times this came up. You had a couple questions that were kind of like this one. Which 3 legs could be the lengths of a side of a triangle? When you add any 2 legs or sides of a triangle together, they have to be bigger than the third, which means here 9 plus 11 is not bigger than 22, so that one does not work. 6 plus 10 is also not bigger than 22, and that one does not work. 7 plus 11 is not bigger than 25, that one does not work. 10 plus 14 is bigger than 23, since it's 24, and any other way you would add these numbers together would be bigger than the third one, which is why that answer is correct. So you just got to remember, when you add any two sides of a triangle together, their length has to be bigger than the third side. Otherwise, if it's not, you end up with kind of this situation where there's no way to connect that third side down to the other two to form a legitimate triangle. Alright. Number 6 was again those perpendicular bisectors. For the angle TSR, again I would highlight starting at T, moving to S, and on down to R. This angle, it tells you, is 120 degrees, and a perpendicular bisector also bisects this angle, which makes each of those angles 60. Perpendicular makes all of these angles around here 90. So then it asks you, what else is true? So angle SRA is congruent to TAR. SRA is congruent to TAR. So is this angle congruent to this angle? I'm hoping you could even visually see that that's not correct. Side TR is congruent to, segment TR is congruent to segment SA. TR is this segment here in the middle. Is that congruent to SA? No. SA is much longer. This shape is actually called a kite, and that SA is going to be a longer segment. TR is the perpendicular bisector of SA. It does not explicitly say that up here, so you cannot assume that. What you can assume, since SA is the perpendicular bisector of TR, that it bisects, or SA is the angle bisector of SRA. Okay, this should say angle TSR, and I will change that. It is an angle bisector, but of angle TSR or TAR. Either of those two would work. For number 7, this is a question that you struggled with a bunch, and it appeared like 2 or 3 times. When you're given a list of sides and triangle ABC, please make sure you draw it. So A, B, C, and label the sides that it gives you. A to B is 8, B to C is 16, and C to A is 13. Across from the smallest side is going to be your smallest angle. Across from your largest side is going to be your largest angle. So for this one, when it says from smallest to largest, your smallest is angle C, since it's across from your smallest side, and your largest is angle A, since it's across from your largest side. So just be careful with those type of questions. Other than that, you did pretty good whenever you had midpoints. Most of these questions you got correct. Again, even the complicated pictures, you were also getting those correct. Let's see what else. Where can perpendicular bisectors of the sides of the triangle intersect? They have to intersect on the triangle. You can't have the sides intersecting inside or outside the triangle. That doesn't make any sense. Other than that, the rest of those questions you got correct. 13 here again is where you have the centroid, and BE is 12. And like I said before, this is 1/3, this is 2/3. 1/3 of 12 is 4, and 2/3 of 12 is 8. And again, whenever you dealt with medians and midpoints and stuff, you got pretty much all of those questions correct. Again, down here you have another perpendicular bisector question. It says SA is the perpendicular bisector of TR, which makes this side congruent to this side, which you already have marked. The measure of TSR is 120. Find the measure of STR. So we're looking for this angle here, from S to T to R. If this is a bisector, that makes this 60 degrees. Here is your 90, leaving that top angle as 30 degrees, since all the angles in a triangle add up to 180. I hope that helped. Most of the rest of them you got correct. Again, anything dealing with a midpoint. Just here again is one of those small and larger questions. I just want to show you this last one. Again, label what you have. J is 91, even though it doesn't look it. L is 16, and K is 73. The angle, the biggest angle, is going to be across from your biggest side. This is going to be your largest side here, side LK. The smallest side is going to be across from your smallest angle. So over here would be your smallest side. Looks like they name it KJ. So the smallest, KJ, the largest, LK, and the other side, JL, is in the middle. Again, the adding, when you add the two together, it has to be larger than the third. Other than that, you seem to get everything else right. Like I said, all these midpoint questions you got spot on, so I'm assuming you know how to do them. Like I said, again, another smallest to largest was wrong again, but I think you should be able to do that now. Good luck on your retest. Thanks.